This week we're gonna kind of go over what we've been using for drones. As you can tell, big fan of the drones, like the way they look, and really easy and fun to work with. We got the Skydio, and I really just call it the Droney. I don't know why, but I've just been calling it the Droney, and that's what I've been running with, which would be the big blue beast here. Off of some specs on it, it's got like a 23-minute battery life, and it's got a really amazing follow feature. Not near as easy to control and maneuver, kind of like that DJI, but the following feature is amazing. All you got to do is have this little remote, put it up in the air, and you can change it around and make it go on one side of you, or in front of you, or behind you. As you can tell, I've tried to run away from it. It does have a 35-mile-an-hour max speed, and so you can lose it in that situation, like in a side-by-side situation. If you're just running or on a bike, it'd follow you just fine. But at 35 mile an hour, like, it's maxing it out, so can't really do the big hills or hard turns at a really fast pace. That would be the only like negative I would say with it. Especially if you're in the side-by-side world or something motorized. If it does lose signal, it'll just stop right there, and then you just circle back around and it'll snag your signal back again, and then it'll start following you again. So one thing I do really liked about this, for instance, we were just at Glamis this last week, and when we were at Glamis, I was able to get this to follow me around out there, and it did a really good job. One negative with that DJI is I couldn't get it to go because there was no service signal whatsoever out there. Starting drone. Nice and loud. It's a Skydio. We have the DJI Mavic Mini 2. This is really awesome. It's got multiple features on it. It's got your cinematic, your normal, and your sport. So Cin is just makes it so your cameras aren't as choppy, especially if you suck at flying drones like I do. Normal just gets you a little bit more power, a little bit more speed. Then you got sport, which just makes it a ton faster. It's nice to have a few different modes, different things you can do. It does have a longer battery life than that Skydio, which is really good. I have a little bit more time out there in the air. Some of the benefits with this one, it flies really well. It's really easy to control. Simple, does a great job. And with the desert being out here in the middle of nowhere, it makes it so that if you do lose signal, or it loses signal briefly, it gets really scary. You don't want to lose it out in the middle of the desert and not be able to find it. When it loses signal, it wants to come back home. The cool thing about it is with the camera linked to your phone, so you can see where it's looking at, it's really cool because you can get it really, really far away. and be checking out stuff from a really far distance, which is really, really cool. Depending upon the terrain, it can do like 1 to 6 miles. I've had it get pretty sketchy every time I've gotten it close to a mile, so I've never really pushed it at that 6-mile mark whatsoever. I've lost one in the lake, I don't want to lose another. This one's really simple also, and the flying on this thing is amazing. It's really easy to control, really easy to show you what to do. All you do is just boom, take off. And it's just really little, so it's really compact. It doesn't take much to do anything. So if you haven't gotten it figured out by now, my point is, if it's just you and you're trying to do filming, then you got to do the Skydio because it can follow you around and do the job. If it's more than just you and you got a 2-person crew, then you want to go with that DJI if you got someone to pilot it while you're doing whatever you're doing. So it kind of just depends on what project you're doing and what you're trying to, what your goal is and what your objectives are. If you need to be able to fly the drone and do what you want it to do specifically, then go with that DJI. Skydio, if you just want to follow you and do amazing shots at great angles, go with that Skydio. They're both great. I like them both. They do a great job, and they're both totally different. One's in one world and one's in another world of its perfection. So like this, comment, subscribe. We appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching yet again. Peace.